Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Boxing Rampage, episode 27. I am your host, JC, accompanied by
Flaco.
And today we're going to be discussing last week's fights that happened. Gervonta Davis, Liam Walsh, Gervonta Davis Jr. Versus Oscar Escandon, and obviously the Dirrell fight. We'll also be discussing the Murata fight. Terrence Crawford fight. So where do we start?
Let's start in the bottom. You want to start with the Murata fight?
Yeah. Murata versus N'Dam Hassan fight took place in Japan.
Controversial.
There's things that surprise me every day, but that really shocked me because the fact is, you think the Murata would have a hometown advantage and win the fight, but it didn't happen that way. He lost the decision in many points of the fight. He pretty much put N'Dam against the ropes, pretty much knocked you safe by the rope. I think I can recall on 3 occasions. And
plus the four round knockdown.
The fourth round, obviously, yeah. So basically, it's one of those things to where you look at that and you wonder how he even won the fight. I mean, Murata was obviously the aggressor of the fight and didn't make the most of it. But yeah, that is a robbery. That's not even close. That's total robbery. So
I didn't really score it, but round by round.
I don't even think those need to score it. I mean,
I gave like the majority. I probably gave like 8 rounds, maybe 9 rounds to Murata. I think it was one-sided. You know, if you want to get all hyped up by the flashiness of Hassan N'Dam, and probably I could maybe see that, but still I don't see a way how the heck you could give that fight to Hassan N'Dam. But the funny part is, the WBA president got all offended about the fight and ordered an immediate rematch. The first time ever that this guy get offended about a decision of his own judges, the guys that he picked, they messed up, and he all of a sudden, the only reason.
It's like, what the fuck, man? I paid to do this shit, right?
The only reason I can see it is maybe
fix it. He walks out of the office. Fix it.
The Japanese and Asian market is a big one. That's why Bob Arum, put Pacquiao a lot over there, and maybe he wanted to have a fighter that will represent it and make big venues in Japan or the Asian market itself. And that's the only reason why he would be offended for this. I mean, why would you? I mean, Hassan N'Dam, maybe the American fighter, or representing he's representing America, right?
Yes,
I believe so. Maybe him against Triple G, a mega fight. If it happens, I don't know what, but that's the only reason why he would get offended. Yes, we all understand it was a robbery, but this is the first time I can recall about a sanctioning body getting offended by a scorecard. So I mean,
apologize.
They already
represents France.
Okay, apologize. He represents France, but first time I've ever seen a sanctioning body getting offended for a card. But they already had mandated an immediate rematch. So as far as that,
okay.
If you want to move on, we could talk about Jorge Medina versus David Ramirez.
Phenomenal fight. This year we've had the Anthony Joshua Klitschko fight, and I put that fight as fight of the year candidate. So far, so good. Unless we see something different later this year, whether it be Kovalev, Ward, or Triple G and Canelo. But as it stands right now, the Klitschko and the Joshua fight of the year candidate. But if there's a runner-up that deserves to be in that ring, basically in that list would be the Jorge Medina versus Benavidez fight.
Yeah.
Phenomenal fight. I mean, this kid could crack. This kid is basically Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. Like, this guy's wicked combination. So very theatric stoppage. I think it was 8th round, was it?
Yeah,
8th round. And pretty much I see a bright future for him.
I saw this kid reviving the super middleweight division because we had the whole last year, right? Last year we had the DeGale Battle Jack bout, which was amazing. It ended up on a draw, but it was a really good fight. And after that, Battle Jack moving up some like middleweight, then Dirrell stay as the king basically. But the only opponent that you could maybe bring up to mind is Sundor Ramirez that will come.
Or Gilberto Ramirez.
Yeah, Gilberto Ramirez, which will make a big bout, and that's about it. But this guy just the way he took apart a guy who went in a fight against Dirrell, they went at it. This fight was really a bit controversial. A lot of people think Jorge Medina should have won, and just this kid, David Benavidez, coming and destroying this guy in the fanatic way, the way that he just ended the fight with that 5-6 punch combination,
7 punch
combination, even better. God damn, like the stoppage, the way he just fall apart.
And Jorge Medina, his face was like he was still getting punches, like
that's like a Street Fighter combination.
You know what I'm saying? It's a standard. It's like
when you should have like what was his name? The guy with the sumo wrestler on.
The fat dude.
The sumo wrestler. I forgot his name, but he used to go with that. No, basically that's what it was. It was this kid got power. He got a beautiful combination, beautiful poacher. I mean, overall, he looks like the goods at the super middleweight division. Like, if you ask me right now, who would I pick versus Sundor Ramirez versus Dirrell, who's on top? Even Dirrell.
E Honda.
Yeah.
I knew it was some Japanese, like a Honda Civic, E Honda, but not like the Civic.
So I will pick Davis Benavidez. This kid just impressed me, man. Like if you would have seen him like probably 2 or 3 years back when he was just coming up, because I used to follow his brother. His brother was a guy who was talented but never put enough effort. Jose Benavidez. And but this guy, man, just impressed me, man. I mean, for me, he's the goods.
He's a real deal.
Yeah, a super middle.
I think it's got to give him time to grow, but
he's only 20 years old. That's impressive.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, at 20 years old.
Like who we got right now at 20 years old who's
putting in that kind of work.
I mean,
that division.
Gervonta Davis, maybe.
Yeah,
he's young. Another guy that's young coming up, just destroying his opponents like that. That's what we got right now. I mean, I'm hyped about Gervonta's. I'm hyped about this guy too.
Yeah, I think the fight there's gonna, I don't even want to say a couple more fights, probably like 4 or 5 more fights, probably like in a couple of years, probably match him over because it's Gilberto Ramirez, and then he could probably take over the super middle, and then
yeah. All right, then moving on to Rances Barthelemy versus Kirk Style. What's his name? I can't pronounce his name. That Kirk guy. Basically, this is the fight that Rances at the beginning of the fight got dropped. Didn't look good, and then in the middle of the fight, he took back his balance and did pretty well. It was a controversial decision. I didn't put much attention to the fight because honestly,
Relikh. Kiryl Relikh.
Rances always put me to sleep. I think he was better at 135 pound. Like welterweight, he been and the 2 bouts that he had, he been dropped I think on both of them and haven't looked that good. Also, he always. I remember 135 he used to fight constantly. He used to always be active. Now he's always taking his day off. They have not looked good. That's another fight that WBA, I believe, order immediate rematch.
Oh yeah, they did order in the Hassan N'Dam.
In Hassan N'Dam. There's not much to say about it. Rances Barthelemy didn't look that great. A lot of people think that he lost the fight. He got the decision. He moved on with the decision, and he's now interim WBA with that bullshit belt. Another
paper trinket.
Yeah, another paper trinket fight was the Andre Dirrell versus Uzcategui, or however you could pronounce it.
Poor guy, man. I just feel bad for him, you know?
That was the controversial of the fight. I mean, of the event. I mean, this fight, what can I say?
They warned, what's his name? How do you say his name?
Uzcategui.
They warned him after the second round. He punched after the bell. But even the third round, that punch, it was a combination. It wasn't like there was a slight, like you can replay it and it doesn't look like it was intentional at all. Granted, you know, he got punched after the bell. He was dropped, obviously. But in this case, I don't, you know, he got disqualified. I understand that, but there was no reason for his uncle. Like, I don't understand that. Like, for as angry as you may be at something like that, there's no reason for that's what I'm saying. Is you gotta be careful who you put yourself around, because things like that can just cost your career, you know what I'm saying, your livelihood, and now you're responsible for the people you bring in. So, you know, it's Dirrell's uncle and all, but you can't be a sucker punching people, you know, the ring or whatnot. But I think that fight should be a rematch.
That's a fight that they should be ordering.
Because I mean, for him to win in that manner, and now he's the interim now for he gets a shot at
to go.
Yeah,
again, a rematch. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, they should do the same, because I think that was a bad call. What do you think about that?
All right, I understand the situation. I think the ref did a poor job, and okay, I understand if you had warned him before, but when it happened, I replayed it a bunch of times, and what I see is the first punch land, the second punch land at the bell, and then the third. So basically, it was a combination.
Yeah, the
guy got caught in a combination, dropping a combination. And if you haven't been to a gym, a boxing gym, you'll see that these boxers, they just practice certain combinations or certain punches or certain. Like if you go to Triple G right now, and you'll see him practicing the same punch over and over and over and over again, the same exact punch. You'll see that, like, you know, you could go to YouTube and watch a section of him practicing the punch. Certain fighters, and a guy like Uzcategui, and I'm butchering his name here, but
I apologize.
He's a powerful kid, and the way it seemed like he was putting in a combination, and he already, with the second punch, I saw that Dirrell was hurt, and Dirrell is known for having a chin issue, like he been dropped.
Discipline issue.
Yeah. He's been dropped before a bunch of times. That would, you know, this is not like when he fought after Abraham, where Abraham, you saw that he premeditated the punch. It took a while after the bell, and then he punched him. You know, it's not like the girl was defensive. He still was against the rope, protecting himself.
Protect yourself at all times. All times.
And
not just between the rounds.
Another thing that I saw is that referees are trained to get in between the fighters for the bell. This guy was like 5 feet away, and then he's over here screaming like disappointed because the guy hit the other guy after the bell. I don't know if you remember the bringing back Rances Barthelemy versus Hennis Mendes, where it was a controversial decision where Hennis Mendes got KO after the fight, and then automatically, same situation, he was not able to continue into the scorecard, and Barthelemy won. At the time, Mike Tyson was promoting Hennis Mendes, and he fought the decision, and they made it a no contest, and then he fought again. In the rematch, Barthelemy just took apart Hennis Mendes, but it doesn't. My point is, I think that first of all, it was a bad decision of the referee. One thing is that he came to his corner. He asked him if he was okay. And you can go back and see this. He said, "Yes, I'm okay." He come back and said, "Oh, I'm gonna disqualify him." You don't say that. You gotta keep at least a momentum and see the reaction.
To see how it plays out.
How it plays out. The guy, Dirrell is known for being an actor.
On some NBA shit. He's trying to get the and one, the foul and the points.
He's like LeBron James, when LeBron James get all dramatic every time he get the fouls and shit. You know, that's Dirrell. We know who he is. You know, and then for his brothers to start getting a riot on the crowd, and then his uncle making his way into and acting like everything's cool. I think, dude, I came from the hood. I was raised in the hood of East New York in Brooklyn, man, and it's no joke. I mean, when you want to leave the hood, you gotta
Conduct yourself accordingly.
Exactly. Change your manners, man. I mean, how the heck you... And that was premeditated. The guy took over 5 to 10 minutes to get to there, and...
He thought about it. And
exactly. He was talking to his trainer and kept his eye all the way over here, and he just freaking went for a combination of his own. He just missed. He just catch him with the first punch. And this kid got a chin, because this guy's like, what, like 250 pounds? Or you probably more. He's like a heavyweight, and just caught this guy
solid shot,
and you see like the sweat,
and then DJ Khaled comes in and freaking helps him out.
So dude, I mean, you see Uzcategui over here like
the kick, the one-time kick.
He trying to do like the
karate
kick. Like, dude, you're a boxer, man. What like he doing? For me, he was protecting himself. And
that's what happens, man.
Paulie Malignaggi brought up on his podcast. He brought up a great point. When after Abraham punched him after the bell.
Oh, you're talking about the fight they had with Dirrell and Abraham?
Yeah, on that fight, Dirrell won the same way, basically, because Abraham, and this was intentionally. When Abraham, that was intentionally. For me, that was intentionally. And his people didn't do anything. You know why? Because they were on foreign oil. You know, they were the guy in the ass with. But now
fuck them up.
when it's backwards, that
this guy from Venezuela
who had nobody,
paid by himself damn near.
He's living in Mexico. He got nobody over here in the U.S. Like, do something, which is still. I understand.
That's a sucker move.
Yeah, it's a sucker move. Like, dude, like don't be talking tough when you're around your boys, and be acting tough around your boys, and then when you're all alone, you don't want to do nothing. I mean, that's when you're outnumbered. Exactly. Yeah. That's another sucker move. I mean, what else can we say?
At the very least, I did see that they put out a warrant for assault on his uncle.
Yeah, he's
and I think they banned him indefinitely from future events.
WBA already said that they don't want to be him being.
And there's no reason for him to be there, honestly.
In the event, WBC also piggyback on that. I mean, the WBC had nothing to do with it, but I see it.
Hey, I mean, Angel Garcia, watch out, man. That could have been you, man, with that shit. They could have banned you for life.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, the Bravo thing. We are in a country where we have freedom of speech, and lately it's been gotten into a way.
Well, people abuse that though.
But also getting too emotional. I mean, speech is different of coming in and premeditating a punch that, hey, you could kill this kid. You could have really injured this kid. He went, as far as I know, he went to the hospital after this, and they just seen file a report. And he came in Mexico and did a press conference where he said, I don't care about it, I just want another shot of the belt. And this time I'm a KO Dirrell, So, I mean, enough said. I mean, you already got the point. If you want to
rematch.
Let's
move on. Yeah. I guess any other fight? I know there's a bunch of them. I'm trying to run through the Rolodex in my head.
Gary Russell versus
Oscar
Escandon fight. I mean, it was a
strong kid, man.
Yeah, Escandon's he's tough,
strong,
but these strong.
It's another level shit, man.
Yeah.
Gary Russell is too fast, man. Too fast.
He's good. The only thing it's like when you are skilled. And right now always, and this is why, and I said it before in our podcast or in our show, if you want to put it well. I used to work with this guy who used to go to the camp. I mean, not the camp, the same gym at South Judah. He was like, this guy's lazy as fuck. Like, basically, like, he would go to the gym and be like, oh, Seth, don't you have like a fight coming? Oh, yeah, I ran yesterday. Like, he would just be chilling there talking crap, and everybody was like, yeah, you're supposed to be putting in the work. A guy who's blessed, like gifted.
Yeah, that dude was gifted.
Andre Dirrell is the same. Gary Russell the same. Our guys are gifted, and they don't take advantage of it.
The difference is that Gary Russell's disciplined with his work ethic.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put all that pressure on him because he had hand injuries before, and and other issues in his camp. But when you're gifted like that, take advantage of it. Try to fight more often. Like, put yourself out there. He did mention that he wanted to fight Lomachenko over again, so hopefully it happens. I mean, that'll be a great fight. I think that he put in the work, so he did what he was supposed to. I mean, what are your thoughts?
No, I completely agree. I don't think it's anything that came up short. I mean, Oscar Escandon he's a very good fighter, but he came up short against that level of opposition, and you can see that Gervonta Davis Jr. obviously, if he keeps on this streak of winning, then it's inevitable that the Lomachenko fight would happen. Will happen at this point. Just I don't know. Just the interest is there. I guess they just have to build up to that. But that's pretty much it on that end.